Yeah, both these competitors, phenomenal times on the board. Just to kind of review, because we did have a pretty recent one, Lucha Jim, number 14 now on the leaderboards. Recently, as 2 days ago, getting a
Ooh.
5:30.739. Phenomenal time. Really been putting in the work. Hefe Man a year ago, but with a phenomenal time of 5:19.99 or
Spicy.
966. So incredible times from these two. I'm not seeing any Orb Depth. This is all RNG going in for
Absolutely.
set number 3 of our triple header.
Nice classic gameplay. Who needs orbs anyway? Both of them are going to be out at about the same time, so let's see if anyone gets a first drop orb despite not using the orb manipulation. And there it is, Heavy Man getting that first drop orb, kindness orb as I like to call it, and Lucha Jim still getting spreaders followed by a rocket, and getting that room cleared just fine, especially with Razor Shields coming right up after that.
Yeah, they'll do just enough. Yeah, run around with the Razor a little bit. Won't fall too much behind. A 119 for FA Man. Not too far behind. A few seconds behind is Lucha, and now gets the orb to even it up. Can't get around
There
to
it
it.
is.
Yes.
Is going to lose a couple of seconds from shrapnels being on the field, but not too much, especially with getting that orb. Is going to be able to keep Eat My Shrapnel pretty well under control.
Yeah, interesting right there. Hefe Man did get a rocket at the very bottom of the room and just kind of ignored that. It was a little bit later, so I thought there might be not too much risk, but deciding against it, gets through just fine. Both low 2-minute going to total carnage for these two.
Oh, Rocket starting off Total Carnage for Hefe Man, but Razor Shield for Lucha Gem and Spreaders on both sides. That's a pretty good start, but I think Lucha Gem just got a little bit more power there with the Razor Shield.
Yeah, the Razor, it's so nice for this room because it can get pretty crazy. Razor Shield now on the other side as well for FA Man. Spreader will help out a little bit for Lucha Gem, but it is pretty close. And now the Spreader on FA Man, they're just passing it back and forth.
Come on, man. We want to see those spreaders during Mutoid Man. They're going to be helpful during arena play, but Mutoid Man is really where you need them. Rockets for Heavy Man to close out the room at a 252. Lucha Jim should be following not too far behind, but still working on the last bit of stragglers here. Is going to be out at a 250, 3 minutes flat.
Yeah, I mean, 252, phenomenal time for FA Man, and not too shabby with a 3 flat from Lucha Jim right there. Phenomenal times going through Total Carnage. Great run so far.
Absolutely. And now Hefe Man on to Tank Trouble. Lucha Jim will be joining in a second here. Invulnerability is going to let Hefe Man take care of those wall gunners, hopefully. Got one down, and the other should be pretty close to dead, but rockets are going to take both of them out for Lucha Jim real quick.
Yeah, some great dancing from Lucha Jim's side right there to be able to even pick up those rockets, keep that orb afloat. Unfortunately, Hefe Man not able to keep that orb afloat, and now grabbing the grenade, just kind of going for the item pull. Does get some rockets, so that'll help out a bit. But yeah, a little bit of a fall behind right here. A little bit of a mistake from Hefe Man's side.
Yeah, for sure. But Rocket's going to keep the room under control for long enough, hopefully, to get an orb or at least get to near the end of the room. Yeah, there's the end of the room. Doesn't need that rocket to finish off at a 409, just going into 410, 412 for Lucha Jim. 2-second difference going into Mutoid Man.
These runners are flying right now, really showing you why you're talking about two of the better runners for sure in a already stacked tourney right here. These are two to always watch out for, and really showed out again. First matches of the tourney, first games, and these two are really showing out right here. A spreader on Lucha Jim's side, trying to get some manual in and just keeping the range. Okay, I respect that play. Oh, but gets run over. No.
Lucian did get the ball buster, however, so it does get a little bit of an edge there. Jefeman is so both of them have one arm off right now. Jefeman taking the death for a spreader though. Look at
Oof.
that.
Yeah.
The other arm comes off. There's the chest pop on top of that. So we are getting a glitch toy there. Whoa! 3 forms down just like that.
Yeah, that was. I mean, he took that death uh, right on the perfect timing for it, and got a spreader in a great place. Melted. They're both down with the head pop, but Heavy Man definitely has the damage. Gonna go for the Telio death again. Does not get it. Gets grenades though, so some damage. Rockets on Lucha Jim's side. Not quite the damage you
Lucha
want.
Jim gets
Let's
run
see.
over. But Jefeman is at the last form now. Lucha Jim not far behind is going to really come down to getting the weapons and getting those weapons to hit Mutoid. There's a spreader for Jefeman, but not really what you want to see on the last form. Lucha Jim just going to get it. Jefeman not far behind. This is still going to be pretty clearly Lucha Jim's win, though.
By just a second or so, not even. It looks like it was pretty certain right there. There was quite a little switch back. I thought Hefe actually had a little bit of a lead up, but there you go.
I don't know how we want to call this one actually, because the timers tell a bit of a different story than I was.
From what we see, I don't know. Yeah, as far as exactly having it synced up, it looked like more than a half-second difference. But again, the timers on the screen, they don't tell you exactly the whole story sometimes.
Yeah, and
This
Dino's
was,
asking for a frame count, so we get 2 of those today.
yeah, and just to be sure about it, I think Dino, yeah, this probably going to take a look.
Does appear that way.
So that's fine. I mean, we can still move on to game 2. Dino having to put in the extra work, not only run the stream, but
Yeah,
having
no
to
kidding.
do some frame counts.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, cause like, it's I haven't had to do any frame counts. You can tell by the fact that I'm still not quite at the sub 6 point on the leaderboard, but it's not an easy thing to do. You gotta find just the right frame where it starts to fade out, find just the right frame where it goes black, and count from there. Our players are ready now. And here comes Sabatia with a countdown. So in a few seconds, we'll see the start of game number 2 and see where the road takes us ahead. Someone get that Mana Baja Blast stat.
Not even a drink, it just a splash on the face real quick, because yeah, it's getting heated here. It's, yeah, phenomenal. That was, yeah, I thought it could even be closer to that. I was surprised that there even was a little bit as much separation as there was, but that's only potentially. We'll figure it out and get into game number 2 here, and let you know about game number 1 down the line. But here we go.
Indeed. And once again, no one going for the Ormanip, so we'll see just how the RNG decides to treat everyone. Looks like Heavy Man with a whole shot is going to be out at just about 40 seconds. 41 for Lucha Jin. Collect power-ups. Let's see those orbs.
Let's see what they got here. And just to kind of describe what we have on the line between our 2 runners right here, the winner of this will be going on to our winner side round 3 to face off against Telio 1 in what will be a phenomenal matchup, no matter how that shakes out. The loser will still be around going down to our lower bracket they'll be facing off against ET Go Ham in a win or go home scenario. So a couple phenomenal sets setting up, no matter how you shake it between these guys.
Indeed, and both of them got their orbs during collect power-ups. About a second difference going into Eat My Shrapnel. So we'll see how that plays out. Jefeman getting a Razor Shield to keep those swarmers under control. Lucha Gem's still not getting a whole lot, but still able to keep the center of the room pretty clean. So
Yeah, as long as you saw the orb beforehand, typically this roam won't be too much trouble. Really, the trickiest part is typically the very beginning, because you get that swirl spawn, you get
exactly.
the shrapnel that can stay out, and they can be really annoying if they don't, go off at the right times. These two keeping it real close, no real time losses there.
Absolutely playing that round pretty well. So now on to Total Carnage, where Lucha Gym will start off with a Razor Shield, Jefeman with some spreaders to keep it to keep the floor hot for a little bit here.
Yeah,
There's some rockets for Lucha Gym.
Yeah, very nice. With the Razor, too, some good clear out potential right there. Jefeman doing just fine holding the center, but yeah, that extra little bit from Luchagen does appreciate that. And see, it goes down for the spread, does go down for it, and that'll wrap up the room real quick. A phenomenal 252.
Ooh, that is a fire time right there. Jefeman still contending with the end of Total Carnage. It's going to be added to 302.
Great time right there. I think that's back-to-back, someone getting a 252 going into the bonus room. So some pretty hot times right there. You'll love to see it.
No kidding. Lucha Gym now on to Tank Trouble. Jefeman will be close behind. Oh. Okay, so Lucha Gym had that rest of a spreader coming in, so was able to take out one of the wall gunners. We'll see how Jefeman... Oh, rockets right on the feet. Is able to take both of the wall gunners right out.
Ooh, and the rockets right there will help out Jefeman, but Lucha holding his own as well, getting a little bit of damage, and that invulnerability, using it very effectively, not taking damage from those tank shots. Very nicely done so far.
Looks like we've got a frame count established here. We'll let you know the results of that at the end of this game. But Lucha Gym is going to be out here at a 408 into Mutoid Man. Jefeman made up a lot of that lost time. Is going to be out at 413.
Yeah, really. We're talking about a drop there. We do have half a clip of rocket right here, so this will really help against the gunners. Yeah, Lucha wipes those out immediately, doesn't have to worry about them so much. Goes for that ball buster and does get it.
Indeed, so that's going to be a pretty good advantage for Lucha Gym. Is Jefeman going to be able to do the same, get the ball buster? He is indeed going to get it. Takes a Telio death, looks like, and gets grenades for that, so not a whole lot. So Lucha Gym is going to be ahead with the arm popped off. Jefeman not too far behind, so we'll see what happens as Lucha Gym takes another Telio death. But there's a spreader chance for Jefeman. Is he going to be able to get it? Yes, he is.
Just the partial park job by Mutoid Man right there. Jefeman actually getting into the interior, not for too long though. Unfortunate death right there. I don't know if he was going for that, but two arms pop has taken the lead, and now the chest pop as the arm pops for Lucha's side. So pretty much a one-form lead exactly.
Indeed. Now we're just waiting on some good weapons. Lucha Gym getting some lobbers. Another lobber falls on the floor there. Jefeman head pops off, so but Lucha Gym chest pops off. Is exactly a one-form difference. So this could be decided with a very lucky spreader on Lucha Gym's side.
And this is where it could happen right there. Unfortunately, Jefe got cut off from getting grenades right there. Just kind of continue damage. Does get rockets, but now both on the same form. Lucha with the better weapons right now. Getting the lobber, and now takes the death. This is a decent player. Two spawn, but the block.
Oh, the work is going to work.
No!
Really not. Oh, just on the last frame. Loses out on that. Jefeman on the last form. It does take a death there. Rockets coming up here, and that probably isn't going to do it with those rockets, but one more weapon ought to get it done. There's some grenades. That gets it done for FA Man. So let us see what the result of. Well, let's finish off this game and then we'll see what the result of game one was.
Nicely done by Hefe Man. Not the ideal situation, as you know, you're going through tank trouble and that sort of thing, but handled it pretty well. Was just slightly behind, but did make up some time by the time they got to tank trouble, and just enough of that good old Mutoid luck to be able to pull it out here in game number 2.
Indeed. Luchagen's already stopped his timer, but that was going to be about 7 minutes. So here are the results of game number 1. Frame counts for each: Luchagen 21972, Heavy Man 22069. So it's got to be Luchagen by 97 frames.
Yeah, better to be ultra cautious and make sure, and that was it right there. We saw the timer difference, but it was a very close matchup, so got that double checked, and we are splitting it 1-1 yet again. A best of 5 has turned into a best of 3.
Indeed. So who you guys think is going to take game number 3 and have that advantage going into game 4? Is it going to be Lucha Jim? Is it going to be Heavy Man? Make your voices heard.
Yeah, really, this is to be expected from these two runners right here. I think it's very interesting. I think as we go further, we're probably going to see a little bit less of the, non-orb manipulation. Potentially, I think it's a very powerful tool, and there's some great runners that are utilizing it. But this is kind of the what I've always thought about when it comes to this tournament. This is just pure RNG shenanigans. Someone might go an orbless run and have to try to win with that. So that's the beauty of it. I love to see it, and these two are some of the best to work the gamepad here.
Absolutely. And there's definitely arguments both for and against doing the orb manipulation. Because if everyone were doing it, then that kind of sets the floor, doesn't it? Because then you have to do it if you want to have a fighting chance to get some games in, get some matches in. But if you only have a few people, it kind of throws a wrench into the mix, and then you never really know what you're gonna end up with. Even when you might end up with 2 people who do it, 2 people who don't, or 1 who does and 1 who doesn't, and that's gonna yield a fair amount of different results. So, yeah. Anyway, here's our game 3.
Oh yeah, no, and you know what? It's funny, just like the little bit of variance. It's something that I hadn't brought up. I didn't notice very much game 1, because it is always interesting. We still have a couple runners that hang on to what they know, and Lucha Jim with the good old player 2 strats. Always interesting to see the little red hat guy out there.
Yeah, sure.
I do love to see, even that is just like, that is such a difference when it comes to Mutoids sometimes, because I feel like sometimes those right side spreaders are really dropping way more than the left side.
It does definitely feel that way sometimes, and I believe someone, maybe through Creepio, maybe someone else might be mistaken, but there was a heat map that was made up to show where the drops are most likely to end up, and they're about equal left or right. But I believe player 1 does get a little bit of an advantage because although the drop counts will be about the same on both sides, they are going to skew to the left a little bit.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, the stats might say one thing. What I feel when I'm getting just nothing from Mutoid might be another. So here
Oh,
we
for sure.
go. We go through both players with an orb now, so I like to see that both with the even pegging here as we get through. Let's see. Kind of in the corner is Lucha Gym right now. Razor Shield on Hefe Man's side, so
And here comes a
much
Razor
easier
Shield
to.
and Lucha Gem, but it's going to be a little too late to make any difference with all the swarmers taken care of. Lucha Gem out the door at a 207. Looks like it's going to be a 212 for Hefe Man, about 5 second difference. Lucha Gem starting Total Carnage with a Razor Shield, and no such luck for Hefe Man, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, if you were to just get invulnerability and choose a time for it, the beginning of this room is a great one because there's the 3 shrapnel. Usually 1 or 2 of them blow up very quickly, and so you don't have
That's
to
true.
worry about it when you have that invulnerability. So that is kind of nice right there. It actually uses another invulnerability again on the shrapnel pieces, so kind of worked out for Hefe Man a little bit. Obviously, you do prefer that Razor Shield, but getting it done is Hefe.
For sure, absolutely. So Lucha Gem should be clearing out pretty soon here. Does take a smart bomb. Doesn't quite clear out the room. FA Man does the same and doesn't quite clear out the room, but it should be pretty close here. I believe it was a 303 for Lucha Gem, and Hefe Man's got to be out of the 311.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, the smart bombs. You know what? I think in the heart of hearts, you kind of know that it might be a little bit early, but it's giving you the opportunity there. And if it could have worked out, you're gonna be kicking yourself. So I really don't mind
Yeah.
taking those nukes, those smart bombs right there. First drop is that nuke, but in a terrible spot for Lucha. Go for it though. It gets it. Wow.
That was real close. Could have lost that orb to the shrapnel, but does not. Still is able to keep it on. Now in control of the center with some rockets. Meanwhile, Heavy Man still having to contend with a wall gunner, but with that nuke is able to take the wall gunner down.
Yeah, utilizing the nukes, both players doing it right there to kind of start out this room, not getting completely swarmed by the swarmers. Not too shabby. The center is getting really tough for Lucha right now, having to do a lot of dancing. These shrapnels are not making it easy. But there you go, and gonna avoid that razor. A 417, 418 for Lucha.
Yeah, definitely not the best time to get a Razor Shield. Um, Actually, it is kind of possible to leave a room with a Razor Shield, but it does cause problems for the game, so you generally don't want to do it. I don't know what happens if you get into the Razor Shield with Mutoid Man, or into the Mutoid Man fight with a Razor Shield.
The game gets really angry, potentially. Who knows?
So yeah, I'll get a little more into it during Game 4, but that is a thing that is possible to do. Hefe Man does get the Ball Buster on his side. So right now it's about a half a form difference, and there's some spreaders for Lucha Gym, but with the invulnerability is not able to capitalize on that. It's gonna have to go in for some manuals. Doesn't get a whole lot of them, but does here and there. Switching over to some grenades. Hefe Man now with a lobber, Lucha Gym with the same lobber, and is able to pop the chest.
Nicely done. Yeah, just about that form. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course the game's always angry, but I'm not going to provoke it any further.
The head pop for Lucha Jim. And there's a spreader. Is he going to go for it? He is apparently not. Just going to leave. Oh, because, right, player 2. That was a player 1 spreader. Gets grenades on the feet is what I'm trying to say, but does switch back and forth now in the final form with Hefe Man still being 2 forms behind. Looks like it's going to be a win for Lucha Jim here.
Yeah, as long as the weapons keep coming out, and they do, grenades will do it right there. Hefe Man within. Oh, that's a pretty close one. And that's actually not a bad spawn for the spreader, but too little, too late. Regardless,
Yeah.
some decent manual right there, and the lobbers with enough landed shots. Maybe this cleans it up. Might be close.
So it's gonna be a 620 for Lucha Jim, and it looks like it looks like Hefe Man just took a death. So that's gonna delay him a little bit, but just a couple of more shots here ought to do it. And there it is. A Hefe Man's gonna be out at about a 648.
Yeah,
Well, that
hanging
makes
around in there. It was close-ish, but yeah, Lucha nicely pulled ahead. Some good weapon usage right there, and gets it done.
indeed. So it's going to be 2-1 for Lucha Jim. Match point at this point. Gonna get into game four just a little bit here. And yeah, they're pointing out bad Mutoid in the matchup channel here. That's pretty much what it came down to.
Yeah, pretty close as far as the arena play. It seemed like Hefe was a bit down throughout it, but um, still, it only takes one or two drops either way to secure that win with Mutoid Man, as we all know.
Absolutely. The RNG giveth and the RNG taketh away. That's
So
one
another.
right.
My apologies. I was just gonna say, just another big potential here between another two great competitors. Game 5.
Absolutely.
We're all looking at it. It could happen. Hefe Man has all the ability to do so. Looks like both these guys are ready. I'll get them counted in.
Sounds great. Lucha Jim versus Hefe Man, game number 4. Who is going to take this? Is it going to be Lucha Jim with a 3-1, or is Hefe Man going to be able to take this to a game 5? We'll get this going in a few seconds, and maybe I'll go ahead and tell the tale of the Razor Shield and how that can make the game angry once we get started here. All right. So into Arena 1 we go, and basically, here's how it goes. If there is a Razor Shield at the very end of the room and you wait until the doors open to pick it up, the doors have to be open. You can just leave and go to the next room with a Razor Shield, but that kind of puts the flags in the game in a weird state. Basically, if you would need to get rid of that Razor Shield and pick up another one in order to avoid a problem. If you don't do that, the doors won't open and you're just stuck there for the rest of your life.
And nobody wants to be stuck in Smash TV for the rest of their life.
No.
Let's be honest.
Like kindness sword for Lucha Jim right off the bat. So let's see if Hefe Man can get one here. There's the ore for Hefe Man.
You'll love to see it. The equal opportunity drops right here. Both able to get back to the center. Both, I would imagine. Yeah, and with a little extra rockets there for FA Man. Not too shabby. Ooh, gets a little squirrely, but is able to handle it. A 120, I believe, for Lucha, and a 125 for FA.
About a 5-second difference going into Eat My Shrapnel, with Lucha Jim being a little bit ahead. Heavy Man just able to keep those shrapnels in control. There's a Razor Shield for Lucha Jim, electing not to take it because those Swarmers should be pretty close to done here. And there they go on that side. And Heavy Man getting Swarmers done on his side.
Yeah, so pretty easy going. Rockets for Hefe Man. Just, yeah, you're able to just kind of stay in the center. You just wait for the spawns in. Single fire, and you're able to keep that clip mostly healthy right there. Razor Shield, though, for Lucha Jim to open up this room. You love to see that.
Nice, powerful start, absolutely. But not to be outdone, Heavy Man getting a couple of spreaders here. Those do go fast with an orb, but there's a Razor Shield. Just getting those spreaders to hold the room until the Razor Shield cavalry comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this pretty much makes this room a cakewalk. Where it can still be a little tricky is when, you're not really trying to take out the shrapnel coming across right here. Every now and then, one of those pieces, they kind of get right between those razors, even if you have a full set of them, and they'll take you out still, all the same.
Absolutely.
So it's one to watch out for. But here we go. Both these runners looks like just fine.
Indeed. And looks like Hefe Man getting the full card bingo, so gaining a little bit of time there. It's going to be about 3 seconds going into the secret room. And I think there's something we might have forgotten to do in this game so far.
Yeah, it's time for a little Taco Bell product placement with Taco Bell. Get your fourth meal, your fifth meal, whatever time of day it is. Who cares? It's Taco Bell. All right, and here we go. Gunners
You, you
down
make
for
it
both.
you make it sound like they're gonna get hungry 15 minutes later.
You won't.
Yes.
Nicely done. Some dancing right here from Hefe Man's side. Not able to hold center, but still, keep the orb healthy enough. Lucha Jim doing pretty well, having to avoid a little bit, and unfortunately, shoes that don't help too much.
Yeah, it doesn't help too much, especially in a room like this, but it can definitely help if you end up with a like a razor shield or a good weapon off in the corner. Just takes a little bit less time to actually go and get it. Both of them getting their rooms done. We got about a 416 to 419, real close going into Mutoid Man.
Real close here, Coolio. This is looking pretty good. You got a little rocket clip for Hefe Man's side, so might have some success with the Gunners. Will be. Oh wait. Oh was.
Oh, gets shot down though.
What? Oh no! I'm not too sure what happened on Hefe Man's side there. A little hesitation with the start of the room, and lost that right there. Still takes down the Gunners. Lucha hasn't bothered with the Gunners yet. Let's see.
Meanwhile, Heavy Man taking the Telio Death, hoping for a spreader, but gets lobbers instead. Not too bad, but still, when you're taking the death, you want to see those spreaders. Speaking of spreaders, Lucha Jim losing out on a spreader from Mutoid Man sitting on it, but there's another one right there. Hopefully, it doesn't do the same.
It does work out to be the right side. A little far for player two, but the timing well enough right there. Lucha doing a lot of damage right here, looking to close out this set.
And there's a glitch toy for Lucha Jim. More spreaders for a second there, but now changing over to some lobbers and taking a death on the mine does pay off for him. There's another spreader.
It's two great spreaders. That's going to be really tough to overcome. Hefe needs to see a good spreader now.
Yeah, Lucha Jim just melting down Mutoid Man. No problem there. Just that absolute luck, and does finally take the match, leaving with a sub 6 time. GG for Lucha Jim.
Yeah, too little, too late. The spreader ended up coming, even though it was parked on for a little bit for FA Man. But Lucha took advantage of some good drops on Mutoid Man, played it very well, and a sub 6 to finish it off. Well done, and is gonna take this this great set here. 3-2-1.
Yeah, we had some fire times, but really the RNG just favored Lucha Jim. So there it is, and there you go. That's your match, and Hefe Man's got to be out at about a 629. Or just 629, 630, we're thereabout.